Rabbi Moshe Chaim Luzzatto is teaching in this book, The Path of the Just, about a concept of elevating yourself to the highest level of righteousness. He says that a person, no matter who you are, can become a tzaddik. A tzaddik is a person who is really righteous. He says this tzaddik is a person who not only does what is required by Torah, by the laws of God, but exceeds them in every aspect of their life. Talks about doing it with watchfulness and zeal and care, attention to detail. And then we get toward the end of the book and he's saying, humility is something that can be grasped, but it is something that must be worked on gradually. There are two concepts, he says, to acquire biblical humility. One is through training and the other through contemplation. The training aspect of humility means that you start easy, achieve little things at a time. We talked about humility and the practice of humility by simply preferring others above yourself. Very simple concept. But this translates into your daily life, what you do at the store, how you operate your car in the traffic. All of these things are characters of humility in which you always prefer the other person over yourself. When it comes to being in places of honor, a person who is practicing or training themselves in humility will intentionally, even though they deserve a place of honor, will lower the expectation. One of the great stories that we like to hear is about the elderly man who is seen at the shul, and after the shul, the rabbi invites him to his house to have dinner with him. And at the dinner, the rabbi asked him, would you like to do a shiur, a lecture on a part of the portion? He said, well, certainly I will. And he does a lecture, but he gives no credit to where the lecture comes from. The rabbi gets a bit upset. He says, if he does it again, I'm going to tell him that he should. Because in Judaism, we know that when you cite a source or give a lecture on something from Torah, you always tell where you heard it from. Even if you didn't hear it from Rabbi Nachman himself, but I heard it from Rabbi Greenbaum or a friend, you always give credit to that because it's a mitzvah. It's an act of great respect to the teacher. And so the next time he teaches, does the same thing, does the whole shiur, almost word for word. The rabbi says, you know what, I've had enough of this. I'm going to tell him. Picks the book out of the shelf, opens it up. He says, this is word for word in this book right here. Word for word. You stole it out of it and didn't give the author credit. He goes, I'd look better on paper, don't I? The author was the guy who was given the shiur. He's so humble that he didn't say, oh, in my